This one's from Jean-Francois. And this is a really interesting point. Hey, guys. I truncated his email because it was humongous.
Okay.
He says, I'd like to bring your attention to the thing that irritated me the most about the Rick Perry commercial you played on September 23rd. Around the 1 minute mark, Perry says this, and I remember this, says, quote, "The United States of America really is the last great hope of mankind," unquote. What? So then he says, what does that make us non-Americans? Does that imply that whatever the rest of the world does, our species will fail unless the God-blessed nation of America stands up and saves the day? What does a comment like that say about Perry's opinion on other nations?
Yeah.
And he kind of goes on to reinforce that point in the rest of the email, but I kind of cut it short there. I think the main point is made. And you make a really, really good point.
Totally.
You've got, but you've got to understand this what Perry said there says a lot about a particularly interesting piece of American culture that is very difficult to shake. And that is, we have a favored nation sensibility. We feel like, many people feel like it's a thing from on high. Other people feel like it's a thing earned and should stay and go, go team, kind of is their attitude. And there is a piece of this in me. I believe that the United States is in a very lucky position of power right now and has a lot of responsibility as a result, and that we sometimes squander that. But a piece of it is me going, go team. Like, I love my country. I really do. And I love being here. And I love the freedoms and the opportunities that it has given me. And it's easy to get into a pattern of thinking that says, we're number one, and chanting it over and over at a rally for your team. Rick Perry comes from Texas, where that culture is steeped in Texas. And it's got more to do with, I shouldn't say this, but they're really into, people always say, is Texas really into high school football like they are portrayed on Friday Night Lights and everything else? The answer is yes. They're really into it.
Yeah. And
that kind of fight, and win, and just that kind of mentality is pretty pervasive, I think, nationwide on the whole. And it doesn't say, I honestly don't believe that Rick Perry thinks that everyone else can suck it.
No.
But I do believe he thinks, when he says the United States is really the last great hope of mankind, I think he really believes that. And I think that's a dangerous place for him to go.
I do too. Yeah, it's
it's just not, it's just too insular. It's too
alienating, yeah.
Right. It's dangerous, and it just doesn't work anymore. And this all kind of settled in after World War II, and when really we kind of deserved the title for a while. We kind of did. If you look at the stats of what was going to happen and what was going down and what turned things around, some credit where credit's due. The USA was critical. Now the question is, did we take that Spiderman responsibility? And how did it go in Spiderman? With great power
comes great responsibility.
Right. As silly as that sounds, it's applicable here, and I feel like sometimes we squander that. Because you do have a lot of responsibility. If you are the most powerful nation, you have the most money, the most influence, then you should be doing the most good. And we do a lot of good, okay? Lots of it. Lots of aid, lots of help, lots of stuff. But we do a lot of shitty stuff, too.
Right.
And so to get into this mode of thinking where we don't think that we think we're flawless, that we have divine, whatever, we have some destiny that is beyond the scope of other countries or whatever, is very dangerous, especially for a leader, to get into that kind of thinking. And so, yeah, we're with you. That bothers me too. I guess that's the bottom line. It bothers me too. I mean, any different direction to take on that, Ibit? Do you feel about the same?
No, I mean, I think it hits the nail on the head. I mean, I'm all about a very moderate level of jingoism, right? I mean, I definitely love our country. I love America and everything that she stands for. But it's a very, very polarizing statement.
Yeah. I mean, why would you say these guys are supposed to be our friends, like France and England and stuff?
Right. It's we're the last great hope.
We're the last great hope. I mean, Britain's okay and stuff, and we probably use you or whatever, but, I mean, really, I wish you'd talk like that. I mean, like, totally we think that we're just, like, the greatest, and you guys all suck, so.
Right.